Good morning, Charlotte. Would you all like to join me in this place and feel His mighty power and His grace? I can feel the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely on this beautiful day, March 8th, daylight savings time. Good morning, everyone who's awake. And for those of you that are catching up later, that's fine. That's why we're live streaming. Thank you for helping to support our Unity ministry by going to PayPal at unityofbillings@gmail.com or our website, unityofbillings.org. And check out all the interesting things that we have posted. And come join us. Our food collection continues. The box is downstairs and will be an ongoing project delivered monthly to family services.
Or when it's full.
Or when it's full, exactly. Whichever one, before it gets too full so we can carry the box, or, you know, all of those things, all those considerations. Thank you for your donation. March 21st will be Marcia's next Step Into Your Magic Festival, followed by the Spring Equinox Sound Bath at 6:30 p.m. Please join us. March 21st, coming up. Today's the 8th, so it's going to be here before we know it. Our meditation room is available at 9:30 a.m. on Sunday. Congregational meeting, and we'll go over all of the wonderful ideas and successes and just Unity of Billings info. March 22nd. What were you going to say?
Unity in general. Phil's going to join us.
Yes.
To tell about the exciting stuff happening.
Right. All the wonderful stuff that's happening at Unity. Excuse me, my tang is tangled. Unity Worldwide. Phil will be joining us, and it'll be very interesting, no doubt. He always has wonderful things to share with us. March 22nd will be Leslie Fisher. March 29th will be Palm Sunday. Really? So soon?
Early.
It is? Okay. Okay, I was thinking, is that right? Rev Edee Weigel will be with us. And on April 5th, Easter Sunday, Reverend Edee will be with us as well. Wonderful. And now, if you will all take a moment, take a deep cleansing breath and center yourselves for our Unity song with David Friedman.
Every prayer is answered, every prayer is heard, every thought and feeling, every spoken word, what your soul has longed for, what your heart can feel, is already here, is already real. There is no one out there is no one else. You hold all the answers deep inside yourself. There's a voice that whispers, there's no you. tell me there's just one, there's just unity. One power, one presence, one light to lead the way. All loving, all knowing, that answers when you pray. When the world looks dark and your eyes can't see, gather all your troubles, give them all to me. I am always with you. I will always be. I am one. I am unity. We are one. We are
Thank you, David.
And I'll tell you guys, you got one more week to look at winter pictures.
Okay,
When
thank
spring
you,
comes-
Robin.
Yeah, thank you.
When spring comes, I already got spring pictures.
Wonderful.
But it's still winter. And we get snow next week.
Those are beautiful pictures. I've enjoyed them very much. And as I light the Christ candle, as I am enjoying those beautiful pictures, the Christ candle is a symbol of the indwelling Christ within us and in our service today. Today, Sunday, March 8th, is International Women's Day. And so we speak of the divine feminine. If you will join me in affirming divine feminine, I bless the divine feminine in myself and all others. Today is International Women's Day, a time to celebrate women's achievements across societies and cultures. It is also time to celebrate the divine feminine, which blesses all people. When I honor the divine feminine, I am recognizing God as love, compassion, and understanding, aspects that are present in everyone. The world is blessed by the contributions of those who embody the divine feminine in their words and actions, from the steeliness of protection to the softness of comfort and nurturance. I give thanks for the girls and women in my life as I lift up and celebrate the divine feminine in its many expressions. I affirm the divine feminine awakens and expands in my heart and blesses and prospers all life. Give her a share in the fruit of her hands, and let her works praise her in the city gates. Proverbs 31:31. And again, let's affirm together. I bless the divine feminine in myself and all others. And our Unity of Foundation principle. Join me, please. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God, the good, omnipotent. And our Unity of Billings affirmation, crafted by our Unity of Billings chaplain, Charlene Inglis. Through divine wisdom and grace, Unity of Billings is vibrant, healing, and inclusive. That pretty much says it all, doesn't it? And our love offering prayer. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I am grateful.
Edie, are you okay if I do your song here?
Yes.
I saw you.
Wait.
I rise today through the strength of heaven.
Oh, goodness. We got lost for a minute again.
Oh, everybody.
Right.
Well, that says it all anyway.
That's really special music. It's so special we can't hear it. I tried to pick something that wasn't too long.
Yeah, that's why, because it's really short, so now it's not.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Everybody sing a song, but it's a separate song. Hopefully I'll play it.
I rise today through the strength of heaven.
Aw,
Oh.
darn.
Sorry, Jack. We have internet. That's wrong.
We can all look into it.
How about if we sing Amazing Grace?
Let's do it. Let's do it. Perfect.
And then we'll try that again. We'll play that.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a soul like me. What page is it? Please. Once was lost, and now I'm found. I was blind, but now I see. Thank you. Yeah, let's start over again. You had a good warm up.
Are you finding it on the?
Found it. Page 16. Okay, we'll sing. Okay. All right. Aha. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a soul like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to sing, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed. Through many dangers, toils, and snares, I have already passed. 'Tis grace that brought me safe thus far to freedom that will last. Woo-hoo! Thank you. Thank you all. That was lovely. Thank you, Robin, for saving the
Well, we
song.
tried.
Saving the song.
And it's all.
It's all good.
Goodness. God, this interesting weather. So as we take a moment and receive this wonderful energy that we feel here in this place together, and we receive your tithes and your gifts, and we remember that we can always call upon the spiritual power, the indwelling spiritual power at any time to affirm our joy, to affirm our love, to affirm our gratitude. And those are all power tools. Our love, our gratitude, our joy. As we take that energy and remember who we are and go forth. And so it is. All right. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. Everyone who set their clocks properly. Yes! That's awesome. It's a close one for me. I jumped up and I'm like, that's okay. I'll just put on a jacket and boots and let's go. So, Edee Weigel, thank you so much for being here, and thank you for sharing with us your message of change, time, because it's time for a change.
That's right.
That's right.
Do you want a cup to put your water in?
It'd be all right.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
you could bring it up.
You want me to bring it? Okay.
This is what,
Here, pour it in.
Good morning.
Resourceful.
this is what I take to yoga class, just in case anybody thinks I'm too serious when I teach. So it says Om on the range, and it's got a little picture of my ranch house with a yin yang sign coming out of the chimney. And this side, it says H2 Om. So anyway, in case anybody ever thought I was muy seriosa, too serious. I'm seriously,
It occurred to me that you were serious.
I'm actually a very serious person. I am. But I take it seriously that I get to stand up here, but I have to take a sip. I know I must have been singing too much coming into town. They had Marty Robbins on. I was singing with Marty Robbins coming into town. My mother and Marty Robbins, huh? So today, time for a change. Of course, I have a joke. I have to tell a joke. What did the baby say? Time for a change. Yeah. So anyway, but our changes today are spiritual, emotional, hopefully my voice. Dear God, give me the voice to speak. Well, daylight savings time has arrived, and it's good to see you all who've made it today. Whoever may be watching in YouTube land, or maybe they're watching later. But today, time for a change is a subject, but it's more than just changing our clocks, of course. And being, the weird Aquarian that I am, I changed my clocks last week. So like today's like no big deal, MVD. But in so many ways, we can choose to be focused on a spiritually energized life. So time for a change, you think to yourself, what in the world am I doing, thinking, going through that I really would like to change what I'm thinking about? Because we do have a little script that runs in our head. I think that the thing that got me this morning as I went through Huntley was that diesel was $4 and something. And I went, wait a minute, when did they change that? I'm like, oh well, good thing I got big old Zippy that gets incredible mileage. But we have to focus on inspiration because that's the fuel for our life. You know, we'll find ourselves in a little rut and we'll keep doing the same little thing the same old way. Sometimes you need to change something to jump out of your track. I think my mother used to say that, drive home a different way, call a different friend. You know, you wear the same clothes, you call the same people. Maybe it's okay to try something a little different. And I've been reading the daily word every morning. I'm just kind of sitting down, dedicating my daily word. But reading the daily word not only keeps me connected to an inner divine force, it also keeps me connected energetically with Unity Foundation and the people that are putting out the daily word. I'm thinking about these people and how they work together to put out such a wonderful thing for us. So I think about those people. Once in a while, I think I might call them someday. I'm in Montana. We need some moisture. Although I looked at the forecast and I'm thinking maybe we're going to get the green grass. It's going to come. But a good old Daily Word magazine, you know, I like to look at it from years and years ago, and it never changes. It's always super good. Some magazines have changed a lot, and it's kind of sad to see, you know, their message is not quite the same. Unity, they've stayed true to their principles. But starting your morning with something like that, it makes a marvelous day. And I take it with me in my little purse with me. And if I need a moment, you know, it's there. You can receive divine grace and divine inspiration. Spend that little time in the morning with prayer and meditation. And we know as spiritual beings, we're freely giving all the support and assistance that we need as we ask for it. You can have all you want, but you need to ask for it. Don't think that it's just running on a default. It's like, dear Lord, I need a little extra inspiration this morning. I need a little extra energy this morning. I'd like my voice to get cleared up this morning. Thank you. You're welcome. We turn within. We turn within for communion with God. It's an indwelling force, and I'm glad she was talking about that this morning too. The indwelling God, the indwelling force. We get focused outside so much. Sometimes it's good to just put your head on your heart and close your eyes for a minute and say, what really matters is right here. If we're coming from the heart, you're changing your focus from the outside world to the indwelling world, your heart. You can always affirm that God is infinite good and everywhere in every part of our lives. But it's also good to just thank God for being right here in our hearts. We can open ourselves to grace. We can take those few deep cleansing breaths with our hand over our heart. To remind ourselves that God is in control and we need not fuss or fear because God has our best interest in mind. You know, and I remember something, Mother, Ernest Holmes, where we are loved and supported by a benevolent universe. You know, it's a benevolent universe. We're always receiving assistance. You know, the more you acknowledge the assistance you get, the better you feel. Some are known and some are unknown, but we can hold it in our consciousness that we are loved and supported by this benevolent universe. And it's time for a change. You learn to open your eyes and see what's going on inside of you, controls what's going to happen later outside of you. In other words, it's all there. You just have to trust that it works that way. See the remarkable events that have led us here to be together at this place on this day. We can enjoy and thank divine wisdom that is constantly guiding us to what is our highest and best. Highest and best. If all that ever comes out of my mouth ever again the rest of my life, I hope it's just gratitude and magic and wonder that I'm here in Montana. I just got up this morning, I'm driving, and Marty Robbins on the radio. I'm like, I get to live in Montana. I drive my big truck. I drive out the horses. Okay, you guys, keep eating the grass. Cats are in the window. They'll be back later. Everything's just going so groovy and great. We learn to focus on love as our energy source. So you talk to your heart a little bit and say, you know what, if I can't do it from the heart and I don't feel love on this situation. I need to change it. I need to change direction, change friends, change what you're doing, change what you're wearing. But you don't have to stay stuck in a rut. You have the choice. We change our energy to expectations of only love in all of our daily affairs. I really catch myself if I ever lose that, perfect divine peace. I go, okay, what's going on in there? Oh no, my ego's trying to take over again. I thought I got rid of that. I was like grumble this morning about something. And I was like, wait a minute. I've been like on this groovy, pink cloud for a while. I better just find that again. You can preload resilience. So before you go out and meet your day, you say to yourself, no matter what happens today, I'm going to stay focused on the divine presence. We preload resilience and we're expecting only good. So we magnetize and draw more of the same into our life. We grow our consciousness and we grow our ways of expression. Peace, love, and joy. I have those carved in wood and they're in my window at my little house. That's what I look out when I look out the window. Peace, love, and joy. A friend of mine that was a SRF guy made them for me out of wood years ago, and they survived coming up here to Montana. But these are gifts of the spirit, peace, love, and joy. They also become the artist's tool for creating a beautiful life because we are spiritual artists. We get to choose what paint, what color, and what we're going to make our life look like. And today's daily word is honoring the divine feminine. Divine feminine. Today is International Women's Day. And it's a very good time to remember so many beloved women who made all those changes 100 years ago, 60 years ago. Think about women's liberation, women's movement. So when I was a tiny child, my mother worked as a secretary they call it the typing pool. Yep. She'd put on her dress, her high heels, her stockings, and go to work. And I would go off to kindergarten, first grade, whatever. But soon my mother got the bit in her teeth. She says, I'm not going to be a typist. I'm going to be a minister. I had the calling, she says. So she worked with Dr. Anita Schofield. I recently found a picture of Dr. Anita and put her up on my mirror next to my mother. I remember her very well. These people were born in the 1800s, but she was an original student of Ernest Holmes. So my mother started taking ministerial training to become the assistant minister of that church. But Dr. Anita was great. She always wore fabulous, beautiful clothes. And I remember going like this to tell everybody how old I was. 4. I'm 4. I think I remember even that 3. I can remember putting my fingers like that. So I'd stand with Dr. Anita as she blessed everyone after church, the long stream of people coming out. And all the cars were like 40s and 50s cars. I can remember very well. Everyone wore fabulous clothes. I can remember that too. Los Angeles, the mink stoles. So divine feminine, thinking about the women's movement, thinking about the big changes women have been able to bring out in this world. But they also have the divine mother. Since I practice the spiritual aspects of yoga, we have divine father and we have divine mother. And my mother, we would call her the divine mother. We also called her Mother Superior. Mother, think about her a lot lately. I'm remembering my mother, but I'm also thinking about my grandmother Lena Evans. She came in a covered wagon. As a young bride, she moved to Texas to meet her husband there. And she had to ride over dusty trails and bumps and horses and me. Oh my God, it's like Little House on the Prairie, Like she wanted to know all about it. And she just looked at me, They went and gathered cow manure, cow pies to make their fires and cook out over in the front of the shanty. No running water, no electricity. Had to cook everything over a fire. Just remembering how tough she was. But you got to love today's affirmation in the daily word, the divine feminine awakens and expands in our hearts. and the divine feminine and divine mother, they bless and prosper our life. You know, as we go out the door every morning, it's good to think maybe there's a sweet divine presence with you with that little arm around you. Every single morning of my younger life, my sister and I would have our little books and our little dresses, had to wear dresses to school every single day, our little bare legs in the cold wind. I'm thinking about that. Wouldn't it make sense? Didn't get to wear jeans until we were way up in our teens then at high school. And at first it was just jeans on Fridays. That was all you got. But we'd start out the door and my mother would come out on the porch every single day of my life. Her arms are out. God has gone before you, making plain, easy, perfect, straight, and joyous your way. And so we were. She'd give us a big blessing. I can remember walking to school when I was 5, alone. What a world we lived in. And Mother, I have a sore throat. She gave me part of a vitamin C. Suck on this while you walk to school. You're going to school. But you can allow that divine mother to surround you with a loving presence of comfort, a mother's wisdom. We can be nurtured and comforted by this loving universal energy field. We allow ourselves to be held and embraced and healed by focusing on this divine mother. And we can change our awareness from living as a solo human to living a life held by a spiritually changed energy field of love and wisdom. I mean, how big is your divine mother? Is she as big as the world? Could be. It's time for a change. The seasons are changing. Spring's here. And so is the spring of our spiritual life. You know, it's like it's never done. It's like housework. Once you clean the windows on one side of the house, got to go around the other side and clean the windows on the other side. Your spiritual life, you're never just sitting in a boat. Hold on to that oar. Steer a little bit. We can nurture our spirits with warm rains of daily devotion. We can embrace positive change by not responding to events in our lives in the old way. I've had a real good lesson in that this winter. I am not responding to any event in the old way because I am a changed person. I'm living on a higher level of consciousness and I'm not going down. I'm staying up. If I'm going anywhere, I'm going higher. We can change. We can step back and look for the good, look for the positive, and look for the wisdom we can receive in everyday challenges. You know, a few challenges I've had lately, and I looked at that and I went, it's never going to bother me ever again. That's it. I made a change. Louise Hay, she's been a big part of my life. She was a friend of my mother. So, of course, Louise Hay books were showing up like crazy because they'd go to lunch and my mother would, here, honey, read this one. So I've read many of her fabulous books, and one book that I love is called Heart Thoughts. And on making changes in your life, she wrote, in order to change your life outside, you must be willing to change inside. The very moment you realize this and become willing to change within to a more positive focus, it's amazing what the universe begins to do to assist you. You know, the little dog that's jumping up at the door, up and down because it sees the leash. The universe is like, let's go for a walk. Walk me, take me. Louise Hay's affirmations are good to use and reuse. Affirmations are brain food. Yeah, you feed our brain affirmations. They direct and nourish our scattered energies, and they bring order to our minds and our life. Louise Hay said, all of my changes are easy to make. Let's say that together. All of my changes are easy to make. And I'm willing to change. Let's say that. I am willing to change. Now, of course, deep down inside, you might hear that little voice that says, well, my changes are not that easy. We all have it. It's there. Hi, hello. Hello, little voice. Like walking barefoot across the yard and you step on a sticker. So, oh yeah, okay, my changes aren't that easy to make, but they can be because you affirm, my changes are easy to make because I see the wisdom and the truth. If a situation has run its course, I'm looking for a better and a newer way to be, newer situation. Rip off my old bumper stickers and put a new one on. we can try and we can start a new and better habit. And it's nice sometimes to just say, dear Lord, I've got a little time, an empty spot there. What would you like me to fill it with? You know, dear Lord, give me some inspiration. Let me have a step in a positive direction. And all of a sudden the phone will ring and it's someone I haven't talked to in years and they say, would you like to host the Bozeman 4-H children? There's like 15 kids and 15 ponies for 3 days and maybe we'll do stuff. And I go, yeah, we could figure out 3 days worth of fun with 4-H children. It'll be in June. Deep down inside of you, you may have some old beliefs that you don't realize are still there. It's like you got to dig in that garden and you might find some rocks down there that need to get dug out so that your new and better roots can take a hold. You need to work on your belief system. What do you believe in? I mean, every single moment I'm believing, wow, it's so fun just going through life and seeing all these fun things that happen. You need to change our belief system. We need to change our belief system before we can take charge of changing our world for the better. You know, it's growing up with metaphysical mother. My belief system was everything always works out so great. Isn't it fun to watch? It's just amazing, constantly. You know, one time when I was getting married and moving away, my mother sold the house that we grew up in. And she moved closer to the church, which was down in Los Angeles, you know, on the flatland. But we had lived up on this hill that looked over the ocean as well. She lived out there for about a year. And then one day she just got it in her bee in her bonnet. She went back to the hill and she went to a realtor and she goes, what is the least expensive house in this entire area? And they go, well, we have some of this housing that was from World War II that's right by, you know, Fort MacArthur there. You know, it's on the flank looking over Los Angeles Harbor. It was called San Pedro. It was a lower income zip code area. You know, my mother bought this huge lot with this cute little house for $25,000. So she lived there, and so that was Jaybrook. And anytime I came home, I'd go up there to Jaybrook, and they had a guest room they had built out of the garage. So I would stay out in the guest room, and I could hear the harbor, the big ships coming in, and the foghorns at night. You could hear the harbor. Well, just a few years later, they changed the zip code parameters of the area, and suddenly her house address was Rancho Palos Verdes, which is considered one of the highest income zip code areas. She sold the house for $325,000.
Wow.
Which, thank you, Mother, she did give me a chunk to help me pay off the ranch. So we paid off that ranch like in 2 years. Money just kept showing up. So okay, let's just pay it all off. So I've had no mortgage for 24 years.
Yay.
Yeah, thank you, Lord. Just everything always works perfectly when your belief system allows things to work out how they need to be. I have no opinion about how my good's going to show up. So we change our world for the better when we change our belief system. And sometimes things may get worse or seem worse before they get better. But this is all part of the process. We are possibly healing from deep or even repressed trauma. So our belief system sometimes is colored by things that we've repressed, we haven't dealt with. So, you know, sometimes I'll pray like, dear Lord, if there's any part of me that needs to get better, let me know, because we can just work on it right now. Right now, I am healed. Sometimes we need to excavate. Sometimes we need to untangle old threads. So just flow with it. Let the process begin and stick with it. It takes time and effort to learn what we need to learn. Sometimes we don't even know where to go or what to do. But we can imagine changes we'd like to make. You know, like children with their untested sense of reality, they can fantasize things like, oh, you know, I'd like to have a black horse someday. Oh, showed up. Okay, what else is going to happen? Like to get married to a cowboy. Yep. There's Ernie with the big cowboy hat. You want to move some cows? Sure, let's go. So we need to uncover changes we must make to change the trajectory of our lives. So you uncover a dream or a star or an idea, and it changes your course and it changes where you're going to be 10, 20 years from now. We cannot demand instant changes in ourselves or others, except in our consciousness. Like in consciousness, it's like, oh, these are such loving, kind people. I just love being there. This place is fabulous. There are other places I have to go that I have to put on the whole armor of Christ. Dear Lord, help me. Keep that smile, keep that positive attitude. We must develop faith in the process. You know, like bread needs to rise. You know, if we just flung the dough in the oven, you know, without letting it do its thing, it would not be very fun or edible or pretty. But we can change what we're doing that doesn't work anymore. And by being willing to change, we begin to look for the new energy and joy that signals us we found a new way to go. Change is happening all the time. We can take charge of what's going on, and we learn to set goals that work. Small goals are more productive to your positive brain hormones than big goals that seem insurmountable. Small goals set the tone. We have probably all heard the saying, when one door closes, another one opens. And no matter what happens, keeping an open mind can lead us to what will be a perfect fit for a positive change. I just, for some reason, thought when one mind closes, another one opens. Jokes just appear on my paper. Life is a series of doors, opening and closing. And some of us are in the process of opening new doors and claiming new adventures. And we learn that by changing one small detail, our lives start to feel a little lighter, a little lovelier. Change one thing. The one thing that I did the last couple of weeks was listen to one CD of the autobiography of a yogi, and it took 15 days, but the entire book was read out loud to me by Ben Kingsley. And I'm going to start it over again. I decided, well, it really changed the consciousness of my house, listening to Yogananda's entire life story. They did not abridge it at all. The entire thing's there. So 15 days, it's probably 20 something hours. So I've been like soaked. I'm a whole new color. I've been dyed in the wool. I'm a whole new color. We learn by changing one small detail. Your life starts to feel a little lighter, a little lovelier. You know, maybe I get up and I just sit and watch the sun come up. Don't move. This is all a great part of life and a process that keeps the good flowing into our consciousnesses, since it's plural. We must remember what change can do. Being joyous, happy, and free are worthy goals. And imagine what you would like to do with your life. What makes you smile? What makes you fill your heart with love? Just follow your bliss, remember? Was it Ram Dass that said that? Who? Yeah. One of those groovy guys that we saw. Joseph Campbell. Follow your bliss. But the biggest changes that we all need to keep focused on these days is to feel safe. We need to feel safe these days. We need to affirm that I am safe. I am peaceful, powerful, and protected. I remember my mother saying that. I am peaceful, powerful, and protected. As we made our way past the Watts riots with the bullets and the guns and the looting and the fires, and we just over there, and we still put church on, and it was full. But all is well in my world. That's a wonderful Louise Hay affirmation too. All is well in my world. And just stand back and see, you know, the glory of Lord, that all is well in God's world. I have to admit, I do not watch the news at all. Do not read newspapers. I'm really honoring my mother telling me, your mind is a garden. What are you going to put into it? What do you want to have come out of it later? So I don't watch the news. I just pray for the world, call it good, go out and feed the barn cats and the horses, and sit there and watch the sun come up. Because, you know, if there's one peaceful person in this world, and another one, and another one, and another one, the world can be peaceful. The news is slanted for fear. If you watch the news, you will feel a tinge of fear. So you have millions and millions and billions of people in this world. If everyone's full of faith and love, we are changing the harmonics of the entire planet. So don't watch the news. I don't even watch regular TV anymore. I just, watch Yogananda or something or Unity or Lee Harris. My mother taught me that whatever you put into your mind will be recreated in your world. Whatever is in your thoughts is what you will create. So you can recreate whatever you like, your reality. It's your world. You change your world when you change your thoughts. And a big change could be not watching the news, or at least maybe check in once a week. But I just like, la, 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 la. We need to feel safe. This is the biggest message of today. We need to feel safe, and whatever we put in our minds affects your health. So why not try some beautiful music? Why not take care of your personal consciousness? Whatever you put into it will be multiplied. So you affirm to yourself, God knows what to do. I release, I relax, I renew. As I'm working, I don't let that little voice take over. I just keep saying affirmations. Sometimes I like to say, it's all God, it's all good, it's all God. We can change how big our faith is. How big is your faith? Is it big as the world, the universe, the cosmos, infinity? Consider the power of perfect faith. Just think it only would take one more person with perfect faith to change the harmonics of the world. Don't you want to be that person? You want to be that person? You could be the one that switched the entire consciousness to love. Change how big your faith is, because your faith is your connection to God. How big your faith is shows how big your connection is to God. We get to choose how much faith we have. We choose to see ourselves as loved, protected, secure, and safe. And faith keeps these positive changes in place. Let's affirm, I accept changes gracefully. I accept changes gracefully. And let's affirm, I am safe and all is well. I am safe and all is well. When we feel safe, we are expanding our consciousness. We feel expansive. We look up, we breathe deeply, we smile. We look over at the mountains and go, oh, wow, there's a little snow up there. I visualize we're going to get some good moisture the next 10 days. We use positive words. We feel energetic in a balanced and productive way. When you feel safe, you're expansive. Isn't it fun to feel that way? Like you spread your wings, you can fly. When you feel safe, you're allowing God in. You're letting God into your mind and your heart. And then you're open to divine guidance. Things get a little more magical, a little more fun. All of a sudden you're like, wow, I never noticed that before. That's cool. It's fun. The whole world's just waiting for you, like a small child, waiting for you to look. Look at how cool that is. Spirit within is our ever helpful friend. And that's the news we must tune into. You have a spiritual friend that's with you all the time. All of us. We all have guardian angels, guides, assistants, big ones, little ones, fun ones that may trip us once in a while when we're heading the wrong way. Don't go out the door right now. Wait a few minutes. The God channel is always playing your favorite music. Don't forget. Tune into your inner wisdom. Joyful prayers lead us to the garden of delights, an ever-present green and blooming within each and every one of us. My heart is a garden of delight. Meditation time helps us reconnect with our divine source, and we remember who we truly are. If you remember who you are, you will never have a moment that isn't just based in love and magic and power. Remember who you are. You're all children of God. We know that we're here for a reason, and we find our path. We find our dharma. We find that true life path, and we stay on it. I guess they'd say the longer you're on the spiritual path, the narrower it gets. And Ernie the cowboy used to say, on the path or in the poop. Love that, Ernie. But you find your true path. We're all part of an expression of the infinite divine life. Life's energies flow through us all, and it repairs, replenishes, and renews our minds and bodies. And a really great affirmation is, I am peace. I am peace. I am peace. So time for a change is my subject today. And yes, time has changed. Daylight savings time is here, but there are more changes happening, big changes. The world as we know it will never be the same. I don't know if any of you have seen the news, but they opened up. Well, I'm not watching the news, but I heard it on the radio that they have opened up the classified files about the aliens and the nuclear bombs and all the things that happened in the 40s. And I just happened to tune into it, and it was on YouTube. It popped up, and I looked at that, and I listened to it for a little while, and I says, it all makes perfect sense to me. But it will change everyone's concept of what is real or what is not real in our planet. I highly recommend you guys look into that. Now that's news that we need to know. We are not alone. We never have been. That you can't handle the truth. Well, now we can. We have faith. But we're all creators and we're all powerful. We awaken to new possibilities each and every day. And as we honor today, International Women's Day, we honor the divine feminine because we all have this divine mother as our loving companion and friend and comforter. When you meditate on the divine mother, you will feel her love. She's a great mom. She never criticizes you for your hair. What shoes are you wearing with that outfit? No, she's a divine mother. Everything about her is groovy. But it's time for a change. We wake up to the possibilities. Change is constant, and this world is changing right now. There's people that are tired of the old way, tired of being angry, tired of being scared. Now is the time for faith and creating love. Loving and kind to everyone. Loving kindness is the vibration. We release our fear and we ride the wave of change. We accept changes gracefully and we're humble. You know, a certain humility brings a new and deeper sense of peace. You know, I release my human way of thinking about things. I'm just going to accept that God has a plan for me and I empower that divine presence. We are all offered the opportunity to obtain spiritual maturity. And this is a wonderful state of mind. It's like, you know, I'm 150 years old and I just meditate all day, every day. You know, and then I take care of the cats. So in closing today, I'd like to make an affirmation for you to carry in your heart. Love is all that really matters. Love is all that really matters. Take a few moments with your eyes closed and just think about this. Love is all that really matters. Everywhere we go and everything we do, we can put a magical spin on it with this affirmation. You know, anytime you're challenged, people cut you off, love. My mom used to say we have we have a rotating gun on top of our car and it's shooting out pink hearts at everybody, everywhere. She made a huge impression on us. We are sending love everywhere we go. Love is all that matters. We look back over our lives and what do we cherish most? The love we had or have shared with family and friends and loved ones and pets. Love is all that really mattered. And looking forward to choosing love as the driving force. Love is all that matters. Because it's time for a change. It's time to choose love as our fuel. Love is our motivation and our healing. It's time to choose love as our medicine for the world, for ourselves. It's time to choose love as our answer to every question. It's time for a change. We choose how big our faith is, how big our love is. And it's time to stay energetically, there's the last page and it's stuck to the other page. It's time to energetically separate these pages. It's time to stay energetically connected to the wonderful message and inspiration that Unity is constantly producing. I love our church. I love those people. They are staying on it every single day. They're on the beam. So take time to read your daily word magazine. Take time to meditate and pray because we're all healers. We're all healing the world. And as you raise your consciousness, you're raising the consciousness of the planet. Every time you raise your own thoughts, your own heart, you're affecting somebody somewhere. You know, maybe there's a water buffalo pulling a load down in India somewhere. Every single cell of every body, tree, planet, it's all interchangeable at all times. All the air we breathe, all the energy of our cells, everything's connected. What you do really does matter. So in closing today, I'd like to share one more ideal for positive change from our Unity Daily Word. Life is vibrant, eternal, and sacred. Love is the harmonizer of life. We invite and follow divine wisdom. We co-create with spirit. We change our default to love. We see that every moment holds the potential for more love, more peace, more joy and creativity. Life and love, they are connected, and it's a sacred gift. I embrace deep inner change. I just want to keep changing for the better, constantly, like you're shedding layers. You're shedding layers and layers of false beliefs, false identifications of self. All I want to be is love. And as I invite God more completely to guide me, we affirm our divinity. Affirm it. God guides me in all of my ways. You raise your consciousness. Let's stand for the benediction. Right here, right now, we embrace positive changes. We claim love as our fuel. We claim love as our medicine. And we maintain our freedom as we choose joy. Love is the power that will heal this planet. Love is bigger than any other problem. Namaste.
Namaste.
Holy moly, I made it through 13 pages.